I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Did you know Cowboy Bebop's creator isn't just one person? HAJIME YATATE is actually a pseudonym for multiple writers at Sunrise. But despite the convergence of so many artistic creators, the leader of the project, director Shinichiro Watanabe, was the main driving force behind the series. In fact, Watanabe was given carte blanche to make the series however he saw fit, with one condition. In an interview from the Session Zero special feature, Watanabe said, "I was told to create something that involved spaceships and to submit a concept. They said as long as it portrayed spaceships, they wouldn't question anything. So I agreed, because we all know chicks dig giant robots and spaceships." However, at Otakon 2013, he recounted how early test footage was not so well received. Because Bebop was originally meant to sell toy spaceships, the sponsor, Bandai Toys, declared after seeing the footage, "This will never sell spaceships," and pulled out of the project. Fortunately, Bandai's sister company, Bandai Visual, stepped in to provide funding, and the rest, as they say, is anime history. At the panel, Watanabe himself joked, "If they hadn't, you might be seeing me working the supermarket checkout counter right now." Cowboy Bebop was influenced by and contains traces of many different film genres and movements of the 20th century. This includes, but is not limited to, film noir of the 50s, the various new wave film movements of the 60s and 70s, and the gun-laden action films of the 80s. Notable inspiration for Watanabe includes spaghetti westerns by the likes of Sergio Leone and Sergio Corbucci, as well as the gung fu of John Woo movies such as Better Tomorrow and The Killer. Some allusions, however, are less obvious than others. The scene from Session 5 in which Faye discovers a dead Mao Yenrai propped up in the chair next to her at an opera house is strikingly similar to a scene from the American film Marathon Man, directed by John Schlesinger, starring Dustin Hoffman. And in a commentary of Mushroom Samba, Watanabe mentioned that the side character Shaft was a reference to the 1971 Hollywood blaxploitation film of the same name. And the character design of Coffee was based on American actress Pam Grier. There are plenty of other real-life connections to Bebop, including Spike Spiegel's martial arts techniques and philosophy. In Session 8, Waltz for Venus, when Spike tells Rocco that he has to be like water, he echoes the words of the one and only Bruce Lee. While Spike's own style seems to encompass a number of different martial arts like French savate or Japanese Aikido, it's extremely similar to Bruce Lee's own hybrid martial art, Jeet Kune Do, which stresses fluid movement over rigid form. Parallels have been drawn between Ed and the very eccentric and amazing composer for Cowboy Bebop, Yoko Kanno. English version producer and friend Yutaka Maseba remarked in a DVD commentary we did for Session 10, "From what I understand, Ed is based on Yoko Kanno. She's just this burst of energy." And in a commentary for Session 17, Watanabe himself said, "Those who are listening to this audio commentary would be totally convinced that Miss Kanno is the model for Ed." Interestingly enough, when character designer Toshihiro Kawamoto was asked about this connection in an interview, he confirmed this by saying, "You were very well versed in the story. Actually, it was my director who had the idea for an association with Yoko Kanno. That's how this developed into what we have now. Well, actually, I knew nothing about Miss Kanno except that she was musically inclined. In my discussions with the director, we ended up deciding on making her the basis of Ed." Speaking of Yoko Kanno, her compositions were even used as the basis for many parts of Bebop. According to Watanabe, as they would get the music, it would inspire him to create new scenes for the story, which in turn inspired Kanno to create even more. So much more, in fact, that she would regularly, unprompted, bring new material to the staff that they hadn't even asked for. In a question and answer session at Otakon in 2013, Watanabe said that although her methods would normally be looked upon as, quote, unforgivable and unacceptable, her Western-inspired work on the show was a big hit. So much so that the band she formed specifically to perform the music of the series, Seatbelts, would go on to release over 7 original soundtrack albums. With all of these creative inspirations, it comes as little surprise that Cowboy Bebop is continuously praised for its uniqueness. In fact, Watanabe himself has been asked numerous times about concerning trends in the anime industry, particularly that it is becoming increasingly more and more insular. When asked what advice he had for new animators coming into the industry, he replied, "If you want to create animation, it's important to watch a lot of things that aren't anime. If you don't, it'll all be the same as what came before, and originality won't be easy. Originality is very important." I couldn't agree more. Thanks for watching Did You Know Anime? The anime trivia resource. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube. And share this video with all the other space cowboys and cowgirls out there. I'm Wendee Lee. You can follow me on Twitter at Wendee Lee VO and on Facebook at Wendee Lee Artist. It's always great spending time with you space cowboys and girls. And you know what they say, easy come, easy go. See you, space cowboys.